Yes. So, tell us your story, Tim. You have a doctorate and you were teaching at a university, but you're not anymore. How did that come about?
Well, I was a postdoctoral researcher. I had been since 2018, and my funding for my research came from a trust, a charity in the UK. And it was nothing at all to do with politics. I was researching blindness and visual impairment, and I was trying to refine a service called audio description, where if you can't see what's happening or can't see very well, you switch on audio description and a voice will describe what's happening. It's a very flawed program, so I was looking at ways to improve it. And last October, I continued to write about politics outside of the university. And last October, I found myself locked out of my email account. And nobody explained why. The IT support wouldn't tell me what was going on. It was only because the sponsor of my email account was able to explain to me that he had seen emails from other staff saying that they didn't like what I had been writing in a certain magazine in Australia called Nexus. So I did manage to get hold of the emails from staff, which were not meant for me to see. And it turned out some anonymous complainant who's still being protected by the university, which is really Orwellian. I can't even face my accuser. They sought out my old PhD examiner called Jane Grant, who will not answer my emails. And on the basis of this person's opinion, she wrote to other people saying, "Can you identify this guy?" And they confirmed it was me. They looked at my student photograph and then compared it to my pictures on Google, which I thought was a bit of a data breach. But anyway, they confirmed it was me. And then they leaned on the boss of my email sponsor to get my account terminated with no explanation. This was all happening in late September, and I only knew in October when I was locked out of my account. So once I got hold of these emails that I wasn't supposed to see, I wrote to everybody saying, what are you doing? Can you reverse this? Nobody would talk to me except the head of the business school, who's the boss of my email account sponsor, Katie Anglis. She actually threatened me. She wrote an email saying, "I understand you've been talking to staff trying to get your account reactivated. Don't do that." And she wrote some of the email in bold and underlined as if she was shouting at me. So I thought, who on earth do these people think they are, telling me who I can and can't contact? So I put in a complaint with the doctoral college, and they said it's none of our business, even though they were linked into the email. So they were part of the mechanism that got my account suspended. Then they pretended they had nothing to do with it. Then I wrote to the vice chancellor with these emails of staff threats and abuse. And the vice chancellor assigned an independent investigator who agreed that they should not have locked my account in the way that they did. But they, unfortunately, they basically ruled in favor of the staff, saying I was not welcome at the university anymore. So again, I reiterate, there's been zero specific allegation other than I write for Nexus magazine. They didn't even say what specifically I'd written that they didn't like. There's something, if you can believe it, called the dignity and respect policy of the university, which they completely violated, because in that policy, it clearly says that staff students have the right to explore unpopular and uncontroversial ideas. Well, that went out of the window. And what I was accused of doing, which I'm not even sure exactly what, it wasn't even to do with my university work. It was outside of that for Nexus magazine. So what I had recently been writing for Nexus at the time of the cancellation was about elite child trafficking, about how the intelligence agencies will traffic children and enable the trafficking of children to use it as blackmail. So I wonder if, this is a topic that tends to get people killed. And I'm not
Yes.
suggesting I'm important enough to die for this, but I'm just saying that this is the point where I got cancelled. So because no one will talk to me, I wonder if it was that ended my career at the university. But I don't know, because no one will talk to me. But I'm currently pursuing it through various avenues anyway.